You keep waking up saying, today is the last day. This week's the last week. I'm gonna get better next week. But that next week never comes. This video is for you. And trust me, I was stuck in that cycle for over 10 years struggling with alcohol, cocaine, gambling, and it only led me to fall down harder. In case you're new to this page, my name is Josh McCauley. I'm an online fitness and sober coach. I help those struggling with addiction of all sorts of things, whether it's cocaine, gambling, alcohol. A little over a year and a half ago, I went to a very nice rehab. I took it seriously, and I've learned from all the mistakes. I currently have a mentor that guides me every single day, and I found that my purpose was helping others. So that is what I'm doing here today. And in this video, we're gonna cover 5 things you must do to get sober. These are all things that I've learned going through a very extensive rehab program that I'm sharing with you guys for free. The number one thing when getting sober is honesty. That was something that I struggled with for so long. I always knew I had a problem, but I never really admitted it to anybody, whether it was my family. I would come out to my friends and say things when I was under the influence, but I never took it seriously. And I always tried to get clean on my own. I kept it inside. I would do the 75 hard alone, but it never worked. So really being honest with yourself, saying, I have a problem, I need to get help, and actually going out and telling somebody about that. Because I got to a point where I was so low, I was down a lot of money, I was in a serious cocaine addiction, and I was crying to my mom, and she said, it's gonna be okay, we're gonna get you through this. And reaching out for that help, they got me on that plane, they forced me on that plane, and I got the help that I needed, and I'm here today because of it. So honesty. Number 2, triggers. This is one of the biggest ones when trying to get sober. So what is a trigger? It is something that connects you and the substance that you're using. So if you have a long week and you have friends that hit you up, yo, what are you doing tonight? Are you going out? That is a trigger. Those friends are a trigger. If you have a smell, if you like the smell of cocaine or something, that is a trigger. If every time you go to the bowling alley you drink or use, the bowling alley is a trigger. So you need to make a list of all of the triggers that exist, or at least you know of, and you can work through that with a mentor. That's what I help you guys with. And you put a plus and negative sign next to everything. So if you can get rid of a trigger, which is something that a lot of people aren't willing to give up, a lot of people don't want to give up their friends. A lot of people don't want to give up hanging out with family, because your family can be a huge trigger if you grew up in an alcohol environment where you were surrounded by it and you felt comfort by using. So being aware of these triggers, at least, if you can't get away from the trigger, if you are aware of it, you at least have a plan of action to take it on. But knowing your triggers is a huge part of getting sober. Number 3, replace your use. That is another huge one. And why? Because when you get sober, you're gonna have a lot of time on your hands. So what are you gonna do with that time that you normally use? Are you gonna go on a walk, get some fresh air? Are you going to join a pickleball club? Are you going to join running club? Are you going to start knitting, making clothes, things like that? You have to find a hobby to replace your usage with, whether it's go to church, pick up reading, start cooking. Whatever you can do, you have to replace that, because if you, as an addict, have too much time on your hands, you will find a way to get in trouble. And this is something that I work very closely with my clients on. She has a long week. She gets through the week because she has a job, but on the weekends are very hard for her. And she doesn't want to go out and try new things right now. So we are working to make a plan for her. When she's craving, is she gonna call me? She needs to go to a biking club or start cooking, things like that. But you have to replace your use. This is important. Number 4 is sober identity. So for so long, we have this crutch of, I'm a drunk, I'm an addict, or I don't have a problem, I like drinking. You grew up around drinking. If you grew up around substance use, it is normal. That is a part of you. Your behavior seems normal. If you grow up around a bunch of drunks or gamblers, all that behavior seems normal. But when you go throughout your life, a lot of people are looking at you like, yo, what the fuck's that dude's problem? But you don't even realize you have a problem. So finding what identity you want to become. Do you want to be that father that's drunk on the couch, that can't speak, that can't take care of their family, that their kids are looking for their dad and he's just out drunk? Because I know 2 little girls that lost their dad for 10 years to drinking. He's in prison for a long fucking time. So who do you want to become? Because if you identify with this drug, a lot of people who take antidepressants, they're sad. How many people do you know that take antidepressants that are still sad? Because they identify with having anxiety, with depression. but they don't do anything about it. They don't eat healthy, they don't go work out, things like that. They identify with that. If you want to break free from something, you have to imagine who you want to become. You have to think, I want to be successful. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a great father. So you start identifying as someone who associates with that. You start doing something a great father would do or a businessman would do. Are you waking up early? Are you utilizing the time that you have? Because once you identify with, oh, I'm a casual drinker on the weekend, I like drinking on the weekend, it's easy to fall on that because that's who you are. Do you want to be known like that? So sober identity. And number 5 is support. This is one of the biggest things that I see people struggle with. I have thousands of followers on my Instagram and a couple hundred on my TikTok. I message hundreds of you guys and you say, yo, I'm 2 weeks sober, I'm 3 weeks sober. And I'm like, hell, great. But they have that false sense of confidence, which is horrible. They think they made it 3 weeks, so they're good. They don't need help. They found it out on their own. And then either they unfollow, they ghost, they fall off. And they go crying, oh, I don't know why this happened. I don't know why this happened. I told you so. You can't do it on your own. I am a very disciplined and strong-willed person, and I tried on my own for so long, and it probably took 5 years for me to actually get sober. So if you can't afford a program like mine where I give you accountability, where I help you with fitness, diet, AA or NA is completely free. I like to go to AA. I had more of a drug problem because it's family friendly, it's a closer knit group. NA, sometimes you have people just trying to beat cases or you get tweakers, actual tweakers. I was tweaking out, but support, you need it. And as much as family wants to help, friends want to help, they might not know how to understand you or handle you, which is the worst part. My family would give their life for me. They have given their life for me. And they wanted to help me so bad, but sometimes it pissed me the fuck off because they wanted to help, they're pushing, but they didn't understand where I was coming from. And eventually I got to a point where I could teach them and let them know my boundaries. But at the start of it, they might make it worse. They might put all that pressure on you, making you feel bad when they don't even mean to. So that's why you should have a support that is in recovery. I don't know why I'm writing like this, but have a recovering addict as a support. And you can find sponsors at AA, NA. They might be 65, they might be in the nursing home, but that is a great option. They have a lot of knowledge. Or I have a program. If you DM me and just need that little boost of support, I'm here for free. My passion is helping people. My purpose is helping people. So if you like this video, if you found it helpful, please subscribe. Please like, comment, follow. DM me, start on Instagram if you're interested in learning more about my program. I'll have my Instagram name in the description. It's Josh Macaulay _. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please continue the support. I am so blessed for every single one of you. I see you supporting. So thanks guys. Have a good one.